the station that brought you
Ooga, ooga, ooga chaga, ooga, ooga, ooga chaga. Randy Pitchford. This man cannot shut the F up. He's a locomotive out of control. Even Denzel Washington couldn't stop him if he tried.
Everyone, it's Randy at Gearbox. I know we promised that Borderlands 4 would come at the end of September, and the team has been working very hard. The game is awesome. The team is cooking. And so the launch date for Borderlands 4 is changing.
Evil is all around you.
But hey, here we are today, folks, talking about the Randy Pitchford situation. Because Randy, I know you're not going to watch this video. You're probably still at Pismo Beach looking for that long-lost game you bought back in the 90s. But honestly, Randy Pitchford, with the release of Borderlands 4 last week, is doing pretty well in the Steam DB charts. Yeah, one of those rare video game releases, folks, that not just gets a console release, but also a PC release, which is shocking. Of course, the point of this video is not to defend Randy Pitchford. I do feel sorry for the guy sometimes, because if you go back to earlier videos, the man was cool, calm, measured, would sit there in front of people talking about how fantastic Borderlands 2 is.
Feels like it's just gone now. Like you guys are just going crazy with this.
You know, it's about having fun.
Yeah.
And when we have fun, when we're making this stuff, everyone that plays it has fun.
And if Randy's having fun, you're having fun, because girls just want to have fun. Okay, back to the serious mode. And honestly, I think Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel were the pinnacle of that series so far. Although from what I've seen online, like Rad Brad, they seem to rate Borderlands 4 pretty high up there. It is still described as one of the greatest looter shooters ever. But I don't know what the story's like. And I haven't played Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I still want to, despite the fact I shouldn't, because people say the character gets very annoying. I mean, that's kind of the whole point with her, right? But maybe I'm wrong, who knows? And again, Randy Pitchford is like a used car salesman. He's got that one remaining Mustang on the lot, and he wants you to buy it, but no matter how much he begs and pleads and cries, and that's the whole sob story, you still don't want to buy it from him. But maybe some compulsion within you feels sorry for the doofus, and hey, Randy, can I just give you $1 and take it off your lot? And he might say yes.
The analogy that I tell about that, if you're curious.
I am curious.
The analogy is, you know, like in the automobile industry, when they make a concept car?
Yeah.
And the concept car is awesome, right? Have you seen, you know what I'm talking about? They're
Yeah. They all look like
sick.
Tron.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
But they never build the concept car.
Right.
Right?
But wait, there's more, and that's just the opening titles.
Does Borderlands 4 stutter?
Thank God it's...
Of course, it is pretty funny that Randy Pitchford, when a fan said to him, this game, Borderlands 4, better not be $80. And then that started an avalanche of more back and forth between Randy and people on X, to the point where even recently, Randy revealed an email from somebody calling him a digger. If you know what I mean. It's a pretty sick email. The fact he actually published it with the person's actual email address. And of course, folks, gotta add a disclaimer here on this video. Do not go and harass that person or send them emails, because it'll make you just as bad as they are. And you don't want to get to that level, folks. Always harm people with words. Don't! It's not harm people with words. We mock them. Mock everybody with words. You turds. If you think premium games are even a thing, or premium gamers, then you're a effing retard. You're the closest thing a white man can come to being that word. You are the biggest piece of dog shit on the face of this earth. But getting back to Randy Pitchford and the whole Borderlands 4 saga, Well, what can I say? It doesn't run very well on PC at the moment. Did you know that the human eye can't process 60 frames a second? That is a fact, bub. So that's why I've always said games at 30 FPS for me aren't a bother at all, because I enjoy playing them. And I think Randy has forgotten that people want to enjoy an experience straight out of the gate. No bug issues, no fixes, no shading issues. But of course, given the fact that Borderlands is a series of cel-shaded games, it does make you wonder why a game this good looking, I suppose, needs the much more butcher requirements on your system, on your systematic system PC to run this thing, which, you know, compared to something like Space Marines 2 or maybe a higher end game like Death Stranding 2, you would understand like the PC power spec has to be right up there. You're pulling the others by the end of the teats. You can see that the specs they're asking for aren't that demanding. I mean, I've got an AMD PC with a 4070 graphics card, and it should, by any stretch of the imagination, run my copy of Borderlands 4. Operating system, Windows 10 or 11, Intel Core i7-9700, AMD, which is my preferred.
There's software basically for my PC. I think it's a lot more stable and reliable than Intel.
That is, if I bought it, and I haven't, because I want to play Telltale Games, the Tales of the Borderlands again, maybe get at Borderlands 2, then the pre-sequel, then Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and then eventually I might get back to trying out Borderlands 4. But for the time being, I'm going to sit back and see what people say about the actual story of the game, because people do like the actual story, the endless amounts of DLCs that you get with it, right, which I think is fantastic. But again, when I look at Randy Pitchford, this is the man who helped to create 3D Realms, Duke Nukem Forever, and we all love that. And by the way, if you look at the old interviews with Randy Pitchford, he actually wants to bring back Duke Nukem at some point. They got the technology. They can bring back John St. John.
Jason King's birthday on October 7th. Please kick him in the nuts.
I mean, a credit to Randy Pitchford here that he does acknowledge the backlash that Duke Nukem Forever got, but he's still proud of that game. But also, listen, this is not a video me defending Randy Pitchford to the hilt. Let's not forget in 2016, Borderlands 3, when that came out, there was this $12 million bonus that came back to Gearbox, somehow wormed its way into the pockets of Randy Pitchford, who allegedly did not share it with his employees. The same employees who helped to put together Borderlands 3 and its follow-up. So the man isn't without sin. Also, that medieval restaurant thumb drive, if you know what I'm talking about, with questionable content. Also, the slapping in the face of David Eddings, who was the original voice of Claptrap before he left after the pre-sequel game.
BattleBot, go! Oh, that's me!
And again, I don't know what happened with Eddings and Randy Pitchford, the alleged abuser who slapped him across the face, or whatever it was. If they actually settled out of court, it kind of remained a bit of a stum. And again, back in the days when Randy was a bit of a chubster, he was quite endearing, he was quite funny. Now he's lost some of that weight, he's become a bit of a certifiable madman who won't stay off X and harassing other people in the process. People are sticking up for Randy. In the comments here, Ryan Hartman, when I'm not playing Borderlands 4, I'm thinking about playing Borderlands 4. And of course, I use the term harassment in a very light, jovial kind of way, YouTube. You know what I mean. I mean, to the point that if you actually reached out to Randy and said, listen, bro, my copy of Borderlands 4 ain't running too well because you said it would do this and it would do that. Apparently, Randy is now a part-time customer service rep for Gearbox, the same company that he co-owns with other people. Strauss Zelnick says Borderlands chief Randy Pitchford can be controversial at times, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, but I still gotta love him to death. Oh, Randy, you big cad, you. Honestly, Strelzelnik, what have you been smoking, bro? And can you give some my way? But yeah, in the meantime, if you look on X, it is absolutely hilarious. Randy Pitchford going back and forth with gamers, even people like Paul Tassi calling him out for when he gave misinformation about technical issues about Borderlands 4. And right now, you fruity loopies, if you look at the SteamDB fart charts, people are playing Borderlands in the droves. 144,686. All-time concurrent peak player count, 304,398. I mean, that's pretty impressive for a buggy game upon its release. And yes, on the consoles, even some of the frame dips do occur. There's some pretty hilarious glitches out there if you want to see them. So I thought I'd make this video today, folks, regarding the whole situation. Probably won't get many views, but you know what? I don't absolutely care. I do care. But I love being in my room, looking after my mum, being the dutiful son that I can be, who is a doofus standing in front of a very expensive broadcast microphone and waxing lyrical to you about my thoughts and my feelings regarding gaming as a whole. And I can't wait until Ghost of Yotei releases, I think, next week, because who knows what avalanche of absolute atrophies that will be causing. But anyway, folks, if you were me and if I were you, you should definitely return for the next video. Oh, Odin's son!